My name is Maya Moussallieh, and I am here to present the Sustainability Loops game, which is a strategic card game of systems thinking and circularity that is under development still. So it hasn't been tested as the others, but it's an idea still. I will start by going through the agenda of my presentation. I will introduce myself a little bit briefly at the beginning, and then I will tell you about where the idea was born and the knowledge base behind it and the learning goals and outcomes from it. And then I will explain the game mechanics, how the learning happens, the level of difficulty, and I will touch base on the challenges in the development of the game and potential for digital adaptation. So a little bit more about myself. I'm an architect with a Bachelor of Science in Architectural Engineering, and I'm currently enrolled in the Master of Science in Sustainable Cities and Communities under the EC2U Alliance. I am passionate about enhancing the quality of life and well-being in cities through design, innovation, education, and sustainable urban development. And here you can see a photo of me, and behind me there's a project that I proudly designed in Ottawa, Canada. So now I will explain where the idea of the game was born. So here on the right side of the screen, you can see a causal loop diagram, which was submitted as part of a group assignment that we had to do for the systems change course that we had at the University of Turku in spring 2024. We collaborated, 4 of us from the master on this, and while creating this, we had it was very interactive, and it sparked a lot of curiosity and discussions for us, and we enjoyed it a lot. So that's where I thought to create a game that would benefit from this idea of creating causal loop diagrams. Here at the bottom on the left, you have 2 photos that show how we started developing the game with paper and ink, and Aishvaran and Juan Melendez, who are my classmates, helped me create 35 cards to test the game. And we started testing it, and to our surprise, it worked and it was fun. So now back to the knowledge, because I know that some of you may not be familiar with some of the concepts that are used in the game. So we start with systems thinking. Here I put the definition of systems thinking, which is a framework for seeing interrelationships and seeing things as whole rather than things, seeing patterns and patterns of change rather than static snapshots. And systems thinking helps us understand dynamic complexities, interconnectedness, and it helps us see how change in one part affects the whole and identify leverage points for intervention if we want to change the system. And instead of asking how to fix a broken part, systems thinking asks, how does this part affect the whole, and how might changing it affect everything else? Now, the second concept is feedback loops, which are the engine behind the systems and the building blocks of systems. And feedback loops are, simply put, are circular cause and effect relationships between elements. And there are 2 types of feedback loops. We have reinforcing loops, where the change causes more of the same, and a balancing loop, where the change is corrected over time to stabilize the system. And sustainability is full of loops. Now, the third concept is the causal loop diagrams, which is the visual representation of the feedback loops. And here on the right side, you can see a simple diagram that shows these reinforcing loop with basic elements that are represented in this diagram. And it's always represented with elements, arrows, plus for emphasizing the effect, or minus for reducing the effect, and the R and B, which represent either reinforcing or balancing loops. Some other examples that I've developed to showcase how we can understand reinforcing and balancing loops. If we look on the left-hand side, this reinforcing loop, if we start from GHG emissions, the increase in GHG emissions increases climate change. And the increase in climate change will increase natural disasters, and natural disasters will cause economic loss. And furthermore, the economic loss in turn will increase the GHG emissions. So this is a reinforcing loop that keeps happening and increasing. The balancing loop on the right-hand side, if we start from the carbon tax implementation, if we implement a carbon tax, then clean energy investments will increase. Therefore, it will create an increase in emissions drop, and the emissions dropping will decrease the impact of climate change, and decreasing climate change will vanish the need for the carbon tax. So this is a balancing loop. It ends at some point. It stabilizes the system. So understanding both types of these feedback loops is key to solving complex sustainability challenges. Now, what is the game? Sustainability loops. It's a card game where players build causal loops using element and arrow cards, similar to the CLDs that we saw, based on real-world sustainability challenges and solutions and elements. Players form these CLDs with 3 elements cards and 2 arrows at a minimum, and it's designed with strategy, learning, and fun. And here's a prototype that we developed for the game. The main goal is to finish your cards, but doing it smartly. Now, for the learning, the game transforms systems thinking into play. Players draw, place, and connect cards to form loops, just like the CLDs, but with the cards, as you can see on the right-hand side. And by building and extending loops, the players discover how problems are interconnected, what interventions cause change, why sustainability is complex but solvable. So the players learn through exploration, and trial and error is part of the experience. The level of difficulty of the game can be adjusted based on the different age, target age, and different themes. It's hard to master, meaning that it's unpredictable. You can keep on creating loops and be creative about it. And it's easy to learn, and it balances fun and depth of learning. And it's interactive and sparks curiosity and discussions because of the validation of these loops and their meanings. Here I'm envisioning 3 levels: beginner, strategist, and systems thinker level of difficulty. We're not sure if we're going to add the cost and budget as an additional level of difficulty, and innovative solutions cards for creativity, which act like jokers in card games. So the game design, which is my favorite part, since I'm an architect and I love design, this was created with the help of AI, where we have each element card represent an element based on economy, environment, social, and culture. And you have the cost and the score. That's for the third level of difficulty. You can use the game without the cost and score, just by forming loops and finishing your cards at a basic level of playing. And here are the icons for each pillar. And where it can be used, I'm envisioning it being used in university classrooms, school classrooms, city planners can use it, NGOs also, and corporates. If we want a generation that understands sustainability as a system, let's start looping them in literally, in a fun way also. So the challenges for developing this game, as you can see, there's the core design of the game and the production and funding. So funding, we had zero funding. We didn't ask for it. We didn't have it. I'm producing it on my own expense. But the production part is covered by me as well. The art, the printing, the packaging. But still the reach is still something that we need to work on. The core design, we're at the point where we need to test it and refine it, and for game mechanics and number of players and predictability. The potential for the digital adaptation, it can be a great digital tool, because we can automate the loop checking and scoring. We can add multiple player, and we can also have it versus AI. We can visualize the data in a more engaging way for younger generations, and we can expand the reach and accessibility. Here are some visualizations of how the game can be digitally. These were produced by AI, still not fully configured. As I mentioned, it's still under development. And the next steps for this game, so we have the visual design, we have the physical prototype printed. Now we're at the stage where we need to continuously play test it and enhance it. And then we reach the digital adaptation and development. Thank you.